It's Nick from BlogToPin, and usually I record some short videos on how you can use BlogToPin and how it helps you and so on. But in this video, I want to make it a bit longer to show you the full functionality of what BlogToPin has to offer you and how it could help you and how it actually works. And most importantly, how we can get the most results from BlogToPin. In order to do this, I will show you the setup of BlogToPin on 3 different websites. One of them is mine, 2 of them are just random I found on the internet, just to prove you that BlogToPin can work in any situation if your niche is good on Pinterest. So let's get started. Let's imagine I've already purchased BlogToPin. One also important note, in case you are not familiar with what BlogToPin is. BlogToPin is the best Pinterest automation tool, as I like to call it, and essentially it helps you create a lot of beautiful pins like this. These are all real pins BlogToPin created from your website. So it scans your website and finds all the images, excludes the images which you don't want to use, then wraps them in good templates and schedules them out for you, smart schedule, so that images to the same URL are not going one after another. It doesn't look spammy, it uses correct boards and so on and so forth. Let's go with the first website. Let's imagine I already purchased BlogToPin, and if you purchase BlogToPin, you probably see the screen, unless I made some fancy redesign, but probably you see the screen. Here I want to use the website of my own. It's cocktailwave.com. It's a website about cocktail recipes and all of that. So the website here, I think cocktailwave.com, just like this, looks fine. How many pins do you want to create daily? It depends on how much content you have and how many images you have. CocktailWave, it has a lot of pages, a lot of images, so I could use even like 100, I don't know, 200 and still be good. It wouldn't be good for Pinterest, but BlogToPin would be able to create it. But just for sake of speedness and making sure it goes smoothly and doesn't take a lot of time, I will set 5 pins here. What's important to know though is that if you have like only 5 pages in total on your website and you want to use BlogToPin, it's possible, but just don't use more than 5 pins a day, because if you do, like I want to create 20 pins a day or something like this, it just wouldn't create 20 pins a day. Why? Because BlogToPin is done with quality in mind, and generally just if you like create a lot of pins to the same URL on the same day, and day in, day out, you do like 5 pins a day to the same URL, you'd be considered a spammer eventually. So BlogToPin has a strict policy that 1 pin to the 1 URL can be scheduled a day. At least like number of pins you want to create daily should be not less than pages you want to create pins for. Hope it's clear. So for testing purposes, let's choose 5 pins. Then we hit submit. We can also choose the website, the Pinterest account you want to use it for. For now, I will use a single testing Pinterest account, Ponytail. But if you have a few websites, you probably need to go to link new account, and it will offer you. You can see that it opens like authorization through Pinterest, and basically you need to like authorize through many different Pinterest accounts, so it will work. So yeah, that's it. And if I have like a cocktail website here, I probably want to link a cocktail Pinterest account, and you can link unlimited Pinterest accounts on all the plans. So yeah, just use it and make sure that you don't pin from a few completely different websites to the same Pinterest account. It just wouldn't look good, and Pinterest algo wouldn't know what to do with you. So yeah, cocktailwave.com, 5 pins a day, hit submit, let's go. It correctly like detected my sitemap here, so it was cocktailwave.com/sitemap XML. But if it wouldn't be able to detect the sitemap, it would tell me, hey, please tell me correct sitemap, something like this. Now we need to choose the pin boards. And here you generally just want to use all the Pinterest boards you would want to use for this website, for this account. So this, as it's a cocktail website, I probably want to use like all the pin boards related to cocktails. And BlogToPin, one of the big cool features of BlogToPin is depending on the page you're pinning to and depending on the image you're pinning to, it will correctly understand to which board to pin it. So for instance, if I have a vodka cocktail, or like, I don't know, I have some eggnog, it will correctly place eggnog into winter cocktails probably, or maybe in sweet cocktails. It depends, but generally AI will go in and try to automatically find the perfect board for you. So don't bother that, hey, I'm not sure, I don't want to like randomly spam in the boards with irrelevant pins. It wouldn't happen. It will only like detect the correct pin board for you, and you will always can change it for any pin you want. So yeah, we choose all the cocktails, we hit save boards. Then we need to select pages. It's loading pages. As you can see, I have 5,000 pages, so it took some time to load them. But yeah, generally speaking, here I can choose which pages I want to generate pins for. So in my case, I want to generate only for tags. And here I can press and I can see like all the tags which I can create pins for. And let's say that if I chose something like general, then I can, I don't know, deselect a few of them and like choose only from general which are not part of this. So it will be something like this. But for me, I want to let's probably refresh it so it's not like broken because I've clicked too many things. But for me, I want to use it only for tags. What are tags? For me, obviously, you know your website better. You know what could work for you. For me, what I want to use BlogToPin for this website is just like some listicles. So it will find like some, for instance, cherry cocktails you can make in minutes, and it will create like a lot of pins to all the like, there is like tags cherry, tags vodka, etc., etc. So yeah, I just choose tags. If I want, I could disable some tags, but I'm okay with all of them, and I hit submit. And here I get to the playground. So firstly, what it does, it scans my website for images. You can hover and see what it does and how it helps you. But generally what it does is it kind of goes through a few pages on your website, currently on cocktailway.com, and tries to find those which are duplicated. So for instance, probably I don't want to use like this logo, probably something else, probably it also goes, probably maybe these parts, but this I guess SAG, so it wouldn't take them into account. Probably you also, if we look at the recipes page, probably also want to skip like this one because my avatar is not needed here. Also I have this one, so they are also probably not needed. And yeah, maybe it will also suggest me to exclude like this part of recipes. So probably if hypothetically I was making pins about the recipes, each exact recipe, so for, in this case Blush and Bright, I probably don't want to have inside Blush and Bright recipe images about something you would something similar to Blush and Bright, something like Sex on the Beach, you know, Bellini. It's not related to Blush and Bright, so I'd want to omit that, and BlogToPin allows me to do it. So yeah, it does it in the background. You see, it already finished, but let's try just like pretend it's still running, and we can still like in the playground, what we can do here is we can play with different settings while BlogToPin analyzes our website. You can see it happens quite fast, but yeah, it depends on the website, on how complex it is. It might take more time, but in the meantime, while BlogToPin analyzes your website, what you can do is you can always like see how your pins would actually look like. So for this, let's hit generate test pins, and it will take images from this website, generate this number of pins to generate, and then would be able to play with like some different settings, color palettes, etc. So it fetched data from this page. We can choose images we don't want to use. Obviously, we don't want to use logo here. If you don't like some images here, you can also exclude them, but just keep in mind that BlogToPin would just like forget about them and will not use them for further pins. You will hit submit, and we can see that like, hey, that's what it came up with. We can see that it kind of chose some fonts already. It kind of chose some also color palettes and templates. You can adjust it, you can play with it, like, okay, I want to have like, okay, this one looks okay to me. Now I can play with color palettes. By default it's a blue one, but we can choose like green one, purple one, yellow one, red one. We can also choose like some specific, we can exclude them, and we can also choose the new color palette. So when you add like new color palette, you can see how it looks like on all the pins here. So you can like do something like, okay, I want it to be super like dark, this like I want to be even darker, and text, I think this one is text and this one is text, I want it to be brighter. So BlogToPin's color palette is great because it kind of has 6 colors which are used in different use cases, and you can adjust them and see how it looks in like different situations. So you can if you like it, you can save it. If you don't like it, you can omit it. Let's omit it. And another one thing is that we can take a look at each exact pin, and we can see that, hey, that's how it looks with this color palette. We can press and see how it looks with different color palettes, and we can understand that maybe, okay, maybe for this template we don't want to use everything, which is, we don't want to use this one, and we don't want to use this one and this one. So how we can do this is we go to this choose templates to use, we find the template, and we can say that, hey, we don't want to use this one, we don't want to use this one, and we don't want to use probably this one. So yeah, it kind of, when you press it always like randomizes the pins, but you can see that for this template, we can see that there are like still like all templates available, but those we deselected would not be like created at all. So yeah, you can also deselect some templates, choose some other templates. We have templates for only images. So for instance, if you are deep into Pinterest and you created some AI Midjourney website about like nails, you probably don't want to use fancy templates, but you want to just like show like different images or something like this. For me, I guess a few images okay, something like this is also okay. I think what BlogToPin also shines in is in listicles. So here you can also choose like different listicles to go with. So for some pins it would choose 2 images, for some pins it would use 4 images, and it will also try to group them so they are kind of similar in terms of their colors. Yeah, so we can see like how it could probably look, and if you like or not like, you can adjust it. One last thing is that, let's say you like, okay, this color you like, but you want to adjust like some small detail, you can press on plus here, and it will kind of let you edit this color and adjust it a bit. So let's make it this, and we can hit save, and yeah, now we can see that we have this color palette and we have this color palette. So yeah, that's how it works. We can also like play with the prompt here. What prompt does is it allows us to adjust the title and description of the generated pin. Obviously you can't see here the description. I probably should add it here, so maybe by the time you see it's already there, but you can adjust it, and let's say you can make it engaging, informative, humorous, inspirational. These are like some kind of baselines you want to go with, but probably, I don't know, maybe you want to make like all the titles questions. So you can say something like, make title a question, make it super engaging and clickbaity, something like this, and it will try to make it super engaging and clickbaity, and we can hit regenerate and see what it comes up with. Let's give it half a minute. Yeah, it already found like some images. As you can see, it did exclude logo by default. So yeah, we can hit submit, and we can see that all the pins generated here. Of course, you can see like when there is like only image, but all the titles generated, they are actually like questions. So it looks like very good for us. And we can also randomize it to see like different results, but this is just like so you can like test what settings you have, how pins would look like. I highly recommend like testing on a few websites, on a few pages, just like to get understanding of how it would look like. And also a few settings I'd want to note here is that we can, in image settings, two things I want to note about is that we also have a possibility to add custom template from Canva, but I talk about this feature in a separate video because it deserves like a lot of attention and there are a lot of like to talk about different details. And another is image settings. So we can, first of all, we can use full image and pins. What does it mean? So let's look at our example, and all images here, they're actually like square images. They are like 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels, but on Pinterest, all our images is there 1000 pixels by 1500 pixels. So it means that our like image, it's cropped and kind of a few sides of the image are cropped and they're not visible. So if you want to like show full image here, you can enable the settings and you can see that, hey, right now it's all of the images visible, but on every pin we have like some blank spaces. So I wouldn't like to have it, but in some cases it's useful. Also, what we can do is we can ignore small width images and small height images. So what you can do here is you can, for me, it's not the case, but if you like imagine your website, an e-commerce website, and you have preview images which are like 200 pixels, you probably don't want to add them. So you can adjust these settings here and ignore like small width images. And they will not like be used for any pins at all. So yeah, that's it. You can also see here the images you disabled and content blocks you disabled. And if you like gathered some images, BlogToPin found some images, but you understand that, hey, this image is not okay. For instance, you didn't disable logo and you want to disable logo here. Press on this one. And here we have a few options. We can either remove a single image or we can remove a content section. What does it mean? We can hover and it loads. I think it should show on the top. Okay. When we want to remove a single image, it just means that we don't like this image. For instance, the cocktail is not very good. It doesn't look good. I don't want to use it at all. Just like get rid of this image. I don't want to see it anymore. But remove content section is when everything is all right with image, but it is just in a place where we don't want to see it. For instance, as I said, for this recipe, if we had an image from here, we would want to click remove content section because there is nothing wrong with this Rossini. The only wrong thing is that it's just in the read more section. We don't want to have a pin about blushing bright and image about Rossini. So I hope it makes sense. I don't want to remove anything. So yeah, I think that's all about Playground. And we can review images which BlogToPin found for us. So here it kind of went through whole website and we can remove like some images of different people, all the images of cocktails. It also found them duplicates. Of course, BlogToPin doesn't know if it's image of like a cocktail or a person, so it doesn't like know whether it should emit it or no, but it kind of suggested that, hey, I think this one, you can also like take a look at the description here. Hey, this one, it might look suspicious, maybe you want to remove it. We hit submit. And another thing is select content sections to exclude from your pins, suggested items, promotion, feature post. I highly recommend you like reading the text. I understand that almost no one wants to read the text, but it's like you spend 5 extra minutes setting everything up and then you get much better results in the long run, much better. They are not comparable at all. So what do we have right now is it kind of suggested as 2 places. For you, first one is this one because like it is present on all the recipes pages, but we probably don't want to exclude them because it has like the main image here. We don't want to exclude them. And another one is just like when authors describe their opinion on different cocktails, on different ingredients, we can exclude it, but we don't want to exclude this one because this image and every image which is inside this block will always get rejected. So in case you're not sure if you want to remove it, the rule of thumb is that you better not remove it. So yeah, we hit submit. Now it says it tells us, hey, please save the settings. We save the settings. And now we can proceed generating. We hit proceed generating, and now it tells us you can take a cup of coffee, preparing pins for you. We'll send you an email when we are done. What BlogToPin does here is it in the background tries to find like all the relevant pins for us and tries to create all the pins 1 month in advance. In the meantime, you can take a cup of coffee, but I will not take a cup of coffee. I will drive you through another website. And this like the website I found online. It's I'm Lonely Planet. I just googled like some travel website. And yeah, let's just choose this website. It has like some images and has like some interesting use cases which will be interesting to talk about. I will not like talk in the details about everything we've already talked about, but only about important points. So let's go. Once again, not many pins. Let's go with 4 pins to create daily. Maybe some pin boards to use, maybe some Dubai, Paris. I'm not sure if it will like have a lot of content regarding Dubai, Paris. So just make sure that your pin boards really represent the content you have here. Here, as I'm not like showing like full flow of like creating Pinterest accounts, setting up pin boards, I'm showing like only how it works with BlogToPin. Figure it out on your own, but make sure your boards are okay. Now we gotta select the pages which we want to use. So you can see it has a lot of pages, has a lot of different pages. I don't know which to use. I think I was on Indonesia, Bali. Okay, let's choose like Indonesia, and let's choose maybe whatever. Let's choose okay Germany, and probably you want to like emit Germany like this like page, because I'm not sure, of course, like if you are creating BlogToPin for your website, you know more about the content, but probably Germany here it's just gonna be like some landing page, or yeah, it's just like more of a landing page, so probably you want to omit it. And probably also like these pages, they also look like some kind of landing pages of some like places. So yeah, probably I also want to emit them, but it's kind of hard. I will remove like only top level ones. So yeah, it just depends on your content. So be careful with not like careful, but just like keep an extra eye on what you want to. Okay, I think we can generate for all of them. It's not gonna be a problem. So yeah, and also you could also like choose the sitemap if you want, but I'm okay with choosing from prefix. You can see a lot of content there, a lot of pages. We hit submit. Once again, we are in playground, and we can choose like some roads to choose from. We can choose like, I don't know, this like Indonesia, Aceh. We can hit like generate test pins. And once again, we can play with some templates, color palettes, fonts. Once again, I will not like show it because I've already like shown it before. So what do we have here? Let me quickly skip it so I can just like also open it on the other page so I can understand what kind of images it took, from where it took them. So yeah, you can see that these like images, must see attractions. I'm not sure we actually like want to pin them, and I'm not sure we want to pin these ones, and I'm not sure we want to pin like these ones, because these ones, they are all like regarding like different pages. So if we press like this one, we get to like a separate place. So yeah, I think it's kind of weird, but probably like only monkey is a relevant image to this exact page. So what we want to do here is, okay, we found some images, and now what we want to do is we like, okay, we don't like the image, and what we don't like is the place where it is. So probably regarding like this image, it will be like somewhere on a separate page, like we can say visit and shop, and we can like buy it. And then it makes sense that when it's a book, obviously we like present it inside our Pinterest pin that, hey, like buy a book, this like amazing book, but not rather like something, hey, visit Indonesia, Aceh. Sorry if you're from Indonesia and I don't read it correctly, but yeah, if you're like, if we create a pin about Indonesia, we probably don't want to show the book there, because it's like two different products and they're not like actually comparable. So yeah, we say here that we want to remove the content section, and it says us that it's looking for a place where the image is located. what we can do in the meantime, it says that it found the image and it found the place where the image is located. It says that we should be careful if it contains an image, but I think we can take a risk. We can always like avoid it. So what this note tells us is when we say like, hey, it's probably in wrong content place, what it means, what BlogToPin at this point tries to do is it just tries to like associate this like image with some like place on the website, so it understand that, hey, this like selectors, if you are familiar with HTML, probably yes if you have a website, but these like selectors are the ones which I want to exclude. I don't want to use them at all. So it kind of tries to find them, and if it only finds the image, it's not usually a good sign, but I recommend that probably avoid it, regenerate, and then if you are not sure about the results, you can always like bring it back. So yeah, we hit like avoid it. Also this one, I think as we've already like avoided this place, we can remove like a single image. We probably also don't like these ones. These ones are like blurred ones. They are here, must see attractions. Probably also don't want to use them. So like remove content section. And probably we also want to like avoid these ones. But obviously it always like depends on your website what you want to highlight. Maybe you'd want to also show like all of that, because you can see that it's like part of Indonesia. I think that's like my understanding of how I would do it, because this website, it has like a lot of pages, 15,000 pages. And what I'd want to do as a creator, I'd want each like image and each pin to be as much tailored to the page as possible, so that like only fully relevant images are relevant here. It's very on contrast with like BlogToPin, where with Cocktail Wave, where we just had some tags and basically like every image inside this tag is okay for us. We are fine to go. But in this case, we want to like be a little bit more cautious about what we are doing. Let's close this tab. And yeah, it also like found the place where image is located. Sometimes it can found like not like the correct image, but like the place, and it like gives you an extra understanding that, hey, it will like remove all the images like inside here, so it's good to go. We hit yes, avoid it, and probably also did this ones. Yeah, this one probably. Yeah, probably this one. Once again, remove content section. So the preparation here, once again, we can see that it actually did it quite quickly. It found the place where the image is located. It asks us whether we want to avoid it or no. Once again, must see attractions. Probably we don't want to add it here, because once again, it's going to be a separate page for us. But it always depends on your website. So yeah, we hit avoid, and I think we are mostly done. That we are like, we disabled this one, we disabled this content block, and included this content block, so all fine. What we can do here is we can probably hit save settings, and maybe we can try like something like Indonesia West Java to see like if it actually like confirmed with our like policies, and whether it is actually like okay. So I had to cut here because I found an issue with some content blocks which should have been removed, but they were not removed. So I fixed that already. Also made a few small fixes along the way. So right now, when I select some road, I can press and go to the page itself. So yeah, it's now fixed, and that's also like important to know about BlogToPin. So it tries to do a lot of things, and while it does most of the things well, there are endless number of websites, endless number of configurations, and there is a chance that with your configuration you exclude some image and it just doesn't work, exclude some content block and it doesn't work. It should be working, but it doesn't work. In this case, just let me know. It's not good. I hopefully that like day in day out with each week, such cases will be not happening, but for now they happen. So let's take a look at my settings, what I have here. Not much change. So just like some UI blocks disabled, this and this. So if we go to this page, we can see that this is disabled, we can see that these ones are disabled, and we can see that this one is disabled. And what's important to note is that this image, it's actually like the same as this image, but as we can see in the settings here, we didn't exclude like here we didn't exclude like this image. What we did is we only exclude like content which is here, but not content which is here, which means that when we kind of like want to have pins for this exact page, we are sure that we're getting the right image. Let's give it maybe one more try with another URL, maybe like this, regenerate, so you can see it in the real time. In the meantime, of course, you can, as always, like change the fonts, change the color palettes, change the templates to use. But I just like want to let you know what should happen if your website is complex enough. So you can see that, hey, it also found like one image to use. We are okay with that. We proceed. Yeah, once again, only this one. And despite like here we have like different images, different all of that, we just like only use the header image, which is what we want. If we wanted to also use like these images, we could just let me quickly show you. If we wanted to use also these images, then we remove this one, disabled UI block. And that's what you also do when you disabled some UI block, but you didn't want to exclude it, or it didn't work the way you expect. You just disable it, you hit save settings, and now you hit regenerate. Close it. We hit regenerate, and what will hopefully happen is that we'll also see images from here, which is if we want to have it this way. Yeah. So we can see that it right now found like 4 images for us, which is good. I don't know if we want to like have them. Personally, I wouldn't. I would only want to choose like that, the header ones. But okay. Now the next important step is also what we had with the first website, is review images to remove. So what we did here was like all manual. We kind of selected, hey, we want to avoid these images, we want to avoid these UI blocks, content blocks, etc. But here is what also BlogToPin suggests we should remove. So we can go here. It found some images. It found some. You can see that it found some. These images, but I probably wouldn't like exclude them. Because we probably want to have them on some specific pages. What we can do is we can exclude this image because it just doesn't look good. We hit submit, and then here for some reason it didn't proceed correctly. Some of them we already like selected, so I think we can just avoid this one. These ones I think are already avoided. And this one, I'm not sure what's wrong with them, but we can just skip it. So yeah, we hit submit. And now we can proceed generating. If we are fine with what we ended up with, we can proceed generating. If we're not fine, we also have like Germany page here. We can just like review that we have it all correctly set up. Once again, regenerated. Let me quickly open this page to like see what's going on here. Yeah, it follows pretty much the same structure. I think this one is a bit different, so maybe we need to exclude this one as well, because I think this one, oh no, it's not like a separate page, it's rather like an external website. So I think we're fine if we have these images, I guess. But yeah, it kind of excluded them from here, I guess. So yeah, okay, only header image is also fine for us. What we can do is we can just like proceed generating, and it will generate all the pins we agreed on generating. We hit proceed generating, and it tells us, okay, you can take a cup of coffee, we're preparing pins, blah blah blah. What we can also do right now is we can look at the first website we generated. We can see that it generated like pins 1 month in advance. It's missing like a few days from July because I generated it a few days ago and had to take a break. But yeah, what we can do here is we can like make like some small adjustments here. We can first of all adjust like pin size and grid. So if we want to like if you want to take a look at each pin here and make sure we can like clearly see what's happening here. We can set it to small, or we can set it, sorry, to large. Or if we have like a lot of pins, like 30 pins a day, and we just want to make sure that we're not having like some random images, some logos, I know, something else, just like to make sure it looks okay, we can choose the small one. What we can do here is we can either like approve each separate image. So for instance, we want to approve like this one, and it goes to our calendar here. What we also can do here is we can show board under pin. So for each pin, because I only like choose not like that many boards, we can see which board it kind of associated is. So it's like easy for you if you want to like quickly either approve or reject it. You can quickly like see it here. Another cool thing that we can do is we can either approve or reject the whole day of pins. So for instance, okay, we already approved one pin on 2nd of August. We can hit once again, and you can see that it got approved. We go to calendar, and we can see that, hey, we got all pins on 2nd of August approved. We can do the same here. Once again, 3rd of August is also approved. So that can also work, and it can also work in the other way. We can reject the pin, and we can also reject the day as well. And you can see that when we reject a day or reject a pin, we also have the fill in gaps button available here. So what it does is it can look that hey, you have like 5 pins a day in your settings, but you only have like, on some days you're missing some pins, or you're missing some days, you rejected some days, so you reject like a lot of them. So once again, I reject also 1st of August, and we can see that I have like some kind of gap here, and BlogToPin kindly tells us, hey, maybe you want to fill in those gaps, maybe you'd find it useful. So yeah, I can press this. I will press it a bit later on, and it will kind of go through the pages once again, go through the pages which have not been pinned. So it's looking at the least pinned pages through some algo, and finds out which pages to pin here and just fills in the gaps. So it's pretty useful. What you can also do to like easily navigate through the pins is you can turn on that show rejected pins, and it will show you the pins which you rejected. And if you want to, you can press that green button and it will appear back. So it's also pretty useful. And sometimes you can see here that that we have like these buttons a bit overlapping like on the whole pin, which is not useful because we might want to like look at the text correctly before pinning it. Let me disable this one. And yeah, okay, here we are probably missing something, and if we want to avoid it, we can turn on this show button on pin on mouse over. So what it will do, it will not show those approve or reject buttons unless you mouse over your pin. So it a bit like declutters the space, so you can see like what you have here in a bit easier way. It's easier to navigate through the pins. And yeah, and the last obviously is you can either schedule or reject whole months of pins, which is also like, yeah, you can understand what it does. I will not show it right now to you because I have also some settings to go through. And let's say before we went through some happy paths. So we liked some pins, we approved some pins, etc. But maybe, sorry. Okay, let's do it this way. Maybe there is a chance that we want to change something. For instance, we like this pin, we kind of like it, but we don't like this image. It's weird. So what we can do is we can just drag and drop. I just drag and drop it here, and we can see that the image is updated, and I can either press schedule, or if I leave, then it will be as before. So yeah, I can also change here the Pinterest title and the image title. So you can see that by default Pinterest title and image title is the same. So image title is what you have on your image, and Pinterest title is what you have on the pin itself. When it gets pinned to Pinterest, it's what user can actually see. So you can add it here, the Pinterest title, you can add it here, the image title itself, what you can see on the image. We can also add it the board it's going to be pinned to, and we can also add it the description. But it's not only that, we can also update the color palette. For some reason it didn't show the image, but yeah, we can update color palette. We can also, yeah, right now it should be working. We can update color palette. We can also, once again, like drag and drop images here, and it also works. That's great. Another cool thing is if you have like a single image and you want to adjust it, you can just press on the image. You don't need to drag and drop, because we understand you only have a single image. You can just press on it, and that's it. Let's say you don't like some pin, some image on pin at all. So, for instance, we go here, and we don't like this image. Here we have two options. It's kind of weird, but we have two options to handle it. We can either handle it here, or we can handle it from here. Here what we can do is we can also try to replace it with image from stock. So I don't know, I can try to find here the cocktail. I can choose the cocktail, probably hit edit, and we can see that it kind of got edited at some point, which is a way for us to go. Also, we can edit images from here, and here what we can do is we can just delete image, and it will just not appear anymore. It says that, hey, this image, I don't like it, I don't want it to be used in any place anymore. So that's also useful. Another big thing which we can probably do is we can, if we are here, we can also delete this image from this place. But what's the difference here is when we are in this section, we can also remove content section. That's what we've been doing in the playground. That's what it's been useful to. So if we are once again in this like place, if we had image from must-see attractions, we want to avoid it, we can avoid it. We can avoid it from here. So if we press here on the X, it will just like remove the image. If we go from here, we can remove the whole content section. Hope it makes sense. Another few things which we can do is we can bulk change color palette, and we can bulk change template. What we can do here is we can choose the template we're using here. For instance, I don't know, I don't like this template, and I want to change it to, I don't know, I want to change it to this template. And we can already like see, okay, how all our pins would update. You can see that it had different template before, now it has another template. And what we can also do is we can save this update for all the next generation. So it will use, instead of this template, we can hit apply changes, and it will get applied. It's cool. Another big thing which you can do apart from bulk changing template is obviously bulk changing color palette. So let's say you don't like this purple one, you can change it on every pin to this gray one. You can see how it looks, and if you are satisfied, you can save it, and also either save or not save it for the future generation. I'm gonna skip it for now, but you can also you get the vibe. You can do it from here. You can change color palette from here, but here you can choose only from the color palettes which you already like selected during the generation phase, or you can do it from here where you can, okay, I don't want this purple one, I only want this like gray one or something like this. So yeah, it also works. So as you can see, you can change almost like anything during the pin creation, pin generation. You can tailor it to what you want to have like 100%. One thing which you can't edit is you can't edit like the pixels themselves inside the template. You cannot move it like 4 pixels below or something like this. That's unfortunately not possible, but everything else apart from that, it works and you can do it. So yeah, regarding this side, I think I'm mostly done. Let's just press fill in gaps so that it can fill in those like August ones we skipped. And I will quickly like show you how you can work with it later on as you have more pages, as you create more content and you want to like do something extra, you first of all have your pages screen. I think a lot of the UI could change here, and some functionality can be added. So just go through the website, because I honestly try to ship like a lot of useful features like every day. So it's possible that if I say something is not possible right now, it's already possible. So feel free to reach out to me via email or something like this. But let's say you created another pin, another page, and you also want to generate the pins for it. You need to first of all let BlogToPin know it's there. BlogToPin doesn't automatically refetch your sitemap, because there is a chance that you maybe did something accidentally, or there is a chance which like a lot of like big Pinterest experts said, that you probably want to give some time for your page to breathe, so that Google understands that these are your images and not Pinterest ones. So when you are happy with that, you can like hit resave, you can make some changes, you can update them, you can do basically whatever you want here. So yeah, that's about the pages. You can also go into the general, you can update like the number of pins you want to have daily, and if you increase it, then you probably want to get back to a proof page and fill in gaps once again. By the way, we can see that we can see that it kind of generated the pins already for 1st of August, which we skipped. So it's good. We can like take a look at what it has and whether we like it or no. Also we can, as always, take a look at the calendar. Inside the calendar, what we can do, by the way, is we can still make the same changes. We can hit save if we want to, I don't know, something like this. Fuss. Which pineapple cocktails can you make? We can hit save and it gets saved, okay? We can also remove it if we don't like it, and it will not get pinned. So yeah, that's what we have. We can also change the time zone here. So by default, time zone is America, New York. It pins from 7 to 11 p.m. But you can, I don't know, choose it to, I don't know, to have like London or something like this, and it will show you when in your like local time it will get pinned. So it will get pinned from 7 to 11 p.m. in London time, but because I'm in Dnipro and it's 2 hours ahead of, it's basically +3 here. So for me, it will be from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. So yeah, hope it makes sense. You can hit save changes, and when you hit save changes, we can try doing it. We hit save changes, and we can see that all the pins we actually had here, they are now rescheduled to be sent from like 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. So yeah, it also works. What you can also do here is pause pins upload. So sometimes if you are not sure what you want to pin, or if you want to change something and you just don't have time to make all the changes, something like this, you can just like pause pins upload, and whatever you have in your like calendar, it will never get pinned because you've paused it. Another thing is customization. It's like a separate screen where you can make all the changes. Danger is here you can clear pins and restart generation. So if you don't like anything about what you have created and you're completely unhappy with the result, you can make some changes. You can test how it looks in the playground. Playground is basically what we had during the onboarding flow, but in a separate tab. So you can double check they look fine in the playground, and then clear pins and restart generation. You have to restart in every month, so you can use it. If you need more, just let me know via email. I can probably give it to you. But I don't advise it if you have like an aged account. Why? Because BlogToPin has a lot of like optimizations in mind in terms of what pages it already pinned, what images it already pinned, and tries to like not duplicate itself and not like create duplicated pins which are already created before. That's like one of the biggest feature of BlogToPin compared to other platforms. And if you just like hit clear pins and restart generation, it will just destroy everything in terms of what pins it created and what templates it used, etc., and will just recreate everything. So I'd suggest not using it. Boards here, you can adjust which boards you can use. If you created an extra board in Pinterest, you can go here and hit save once again. Playground, yeah, I've already shown it to you. Image settings, that's basically what we have in Playground here, but in a separate tab. Probably you want to adjust still image settings inside the Playground, because you can kind of see how it affects the results. One small thing though is that in Playground, when you change min width or min height, you cannot exclude all the pins which are smaller than that, because it's a Playground. But if you do it here, you can say that, hey, I want to avoid these ones, and it will say, hey, it will avoid these images, a lot of images. And what I can say here is I can say reject existing pins with these images. So it's useful if you like have, I don't know, some e-commerce brand, you forgot to exclude some previews and you want to like all the pins with previews to be excluded, so that you can exclude them in one click, and then you can regenerate. You can use this one, hit save changes, and it will update. I will not do it for now. And other, here you can suggest features to me or leave testimonial. I'd really appreciate if you left a testimonial, because I try really hard, but yeah, it's up to you. And if you have any features in mind, you can either reach out to me via email or write on X, or use this like button. It leads to a separate, I have 2 feature suggestions already here. Yeah, I think that's it for the first website. It's been pretty complex already, but I hope the next ones will be much faster. So what do we have here? Lonely Planet. We expected to have here 4 images, 4 pins per day. It generated 4 pins per day. As you can see, like always like different images, always different like interesting. The only thing is that the board is obviously not correct, because we have Indonesia and I think Germany and not France. So yeah, not the best situation, but we have what we have. You should probably once again just double check the boards you have here. If we don't like something, we can go here and we can adjust some settings. But once again, because we correctly identified all the pages we don't want to have, all the like UI parts we don't want to have, we have everything like pretty correctly generated. And what we can do here is we can, of course, like once again, like bulk change some color palette, bulk change some templates, but we don't need to make any adjustments on the like image level if you are satisfied with that. If you feel like something is missing, once again, what you can do is you can go to Playground Beta, I don't know, hit regenerate once again, maybe exclude here some UI blocks, regenerate, and then maybe you want to either like reject all of them and fill in the gaps, or you can or what you can also do is that you can just regenerate pins in the settings. So you can, there is a lot of flexibility in terms of what you can do. But if you, my general suggestion when you go with BlogToPin is to spend like extra 10 minutes setting everything up. And then once you have set everything up, it will be like 10 times easier for you. And yeah, you can just imagine like doing it with any other tool, or like manually for each page like this. You need to go and you need to like make sure only this one gets pinned, and you need to manually like exclude all of that. Like you can see it all like gets excluded because we told it to. So it's great, and only like necessary part for us gets pinned. So it's like a huge time saver. And I just suggest you to spend like extra 5 minutes. So you can see that during the like onboarding for this like Lonely Planet website, which is not my website, which is just a random website, and that's a proof that BlogToPin works for basically anything. I spent like extra 5 minutes just making sure and double checking that everything works okay. But once everything works okay, it looks good, I like the templates, I like the color palettes, I can just like schedule and that's it. One also extra thing to I forgot to tell you is that if you like reject some of that, you reject this one, you reject this one, you can see that you have like fill in gaps. And when you press fill in gaps, it will fill in some data. But what is important is that when it starts working, you can see in the bottom corner it shows creating pins. So it's creating pins in you for you in the background. It might take some time, but just like so you know that it's doing something in the background. And the last website I want to talk to you about is this one, Pinch of Glam. And it's honestly like very hot Pinterest topic right now, when there is like a lot of beautiful women with which are Midjourney generated. And yeah, it's a hot topic, and you can like get millions of impressions maybe within 1-2 months or with that, and basically on autopilot, as long as you have like your image creation sorted out. So this type of website is very usual for BlogToPin, but also you can see this structure here also, this like suggestions, this shop products, these other reader fabs, something like this. If we scroll to this like subscribe to newsletter, and if we scroll down to the bottom, damn, it's a lot of text. They are really ad revenue focused. We also have here some author buy, but we might also recommend it. And you can see that there is like a lot of images, and not all of them are related to what we want to have. So if you did it with like any other like a Pinterest creation tool, it's like impossible to create pins for it and still be sane, because like gorgeous one-shoulder dress hairstyles you love, it's hard to remember because you have like a lot of images here. It's hard to remember, like, okay, it suggests you, random tool suggests you this one. Is this one actually related to this article or not? Is this suggestion actually related or not? Because if you like mixing unrelated images to your pins, it will definitely hurt your CTR. It will hurt overall experience, because user, I don't know, he wants to know how to make this image, and you pinned you wants to know how to make this hairstyle, and you pinned this exact hairstyle but to this topic, to this URL, and he goes to this URL and he doesn't find it here. It only exists here. So it's like a bad user experience for him, and Pinterest would definitely punish you. So BlogToPin helps you avoid all of that. So let's take a look once again. So we just copy pinch of glam. We can see that once again it correctly, like, we don't have creating pins anymore. It correctly filled in gaps for us. If we show or reject pins once again, we can see that it filled in gaps correctly for us, so which is super good. And the next thing we can do is just add your website. Once again, how many pins you want to create. Let's just do 3 so that it goes quickly. Also, one thing I added is here you can use custom time zone, but I will skip it for now. Here we can choose which boards. I created a few: fashion, haircuts, nails. Save boards. It currently tries to process the sitemap. It might take some time because maybe website is big. So this website, it actually failed to load because they have some custom rules. They have captured, not allowed like any bot to visit their website and even fetch like sitemap. So as BlogToPin, we can avoid your capture during like the during like pages scanning and retrieving images and so on and so forth, but not like during the post sitemap retrieval. And it's like also important thing to note, it's good that we bumped into it, that it's better if you don't like have any captcha specific to BlogToPin. If you have these issues, just let me know, we can sort this out. But generally speaking, BlogToPin just scans your whole website, retrieves like your whole images. We need to understand like whole website, whole images, all of that. We need to scan a lot of the data to make the best pins possible. So even if we like do our best to try to avoid like captchas and all of that, we're still going to like, even if we use like proxies and all of that and all the complicated words, we're still going to like fetch hundreds if not thousands of pages, a lot of images, and we're still going to bump it into this issue. So it's better if you either don't have captcha or you can have it disabled for BlogToPin bot. Let me know if you have this issue. But in the meantime, I bumped into another website which is like also in a similar niche, also some lifestyle, also some fashion, some hairstyles, nails, etc. Here we have author page, a lot of photos of different women, and we have also here, which is important, we can also here you also love and recommended, which is probably something we want to avoid. You got me right. So here we need to just for sake of time, just create a new website, minichiclifestyle.com. 3, we hit submit. Loading, once again, fashion, haircuts, nails. It's successfully loaded. Now we can choose the pages we want to use. We can either use by sitemap. I think by sitemap it will be easier here, so you can see that we only like select all the posts here, so it's easier because we like don't need to like get through all the prefixes and all that. We just like find them based on the post sitemap. We can ignore this warning and we can hit submit. And once again, we are in the playground, so we can choose like some random URL, short spring nail ideas. We can see that the random role is selected. We can hit like generate the pins. Here we can find some pins. Once again, play with the image settings, with some color palettes, fonts. Once again, I'm not going to emphasize once again on all of that. We have some interesting thing here is this one. We obviously don't want to use this image of author, and this one we'll try to avoid it as the content block, so we hit submit for now. Now we can have that we have some pins created. Probably for this example, we want to have like probably, I don't know, something like we want to have only like listicles, something like this, and maybe some individual images. So what I've seen is that nails, they work exceptionally well. So if you like on the nails, I don't know, hairstyle, fashion, whatever, when you just like have there and just like an image with beautiful nails, with beautiful hair, etc., it would just work well, exceptionally well. Let's take a look at this image, and when do we have this like yeah, this one we probably want to avoid it. If you want to, you can probably not avoid it, but rather like when you have all the pins generated, you just replace like this one where needed with another one. I generally just like don't advise you to use this one, because you can like generate so many good pins with BlogToPins that you probably don't want to have this like pre-generated things, but it's up to you. If you want to, you can keep it. You can also like always you can keep it, and then if you don't like something, you can always just like skip it and replace the image completely. But we can probably try avoiding it. Maybe it just wouldn't work for this page, for this like image. It depends on where it is in terms of like content structure and all of that, but we can at least like try to see if it works or not. And if it doesn't, then BlogToPin is not like silver bullet. It's not like 100% working for 100% cases and 100% websites. So we can see that like this image, it is like located inside the code as like any other random image. So what I suggest you to do is if you want to like make it 100% appropriate for BlogToPin, is you either wrap it with some like in some like div with some like ID, so that we like correctly understand that it's BlogToPin. But here it didn't find like it just found like a correct, just like a random image, and it's not like a good one. So we just hit no, I'm fine. And yeah, that's it. We don't actually have like a lot to do, because we kind of like agreed on the sitemap, etc. We are just waiting for scanning website for images to kind of finish. What we can also do here is that we obviously have those images to the bottom. So for instance, we can see that, I don't know, this one recommend, or this one, or let me see if I can find them. Probably excluded them by default, not sure, because it's not the correct page here. You also love. That's weird. I cannot see it. So probably BlogToPin was smart enough to already avoid them, which is good. If we have like everything we need here, it suggested some like images to remove, but I think all of them are fine. Maybe this one. I think maybe in some page it can be used. Proceed with all the images. Now it suggests us some UI blocks to remove. This one, you can see that like it's like a whole page. You'd rather not want to remove it, but you also love is something we probably want to avoid. So we hit submit. Then we probably want to hit save settings here, and yeah, we can hit proceed generate, and it will start like generating all the pins for us. We can this time we can stay on this page for a bit longer because we don't actually have like much to do, and it will proceed them like pretty quickly, maybe like within 5 minutes or so, and we should see like a first iteration of image available pretty much right now, maybe like within a minute or so. So in the meantime, once again, what you can do is whenever you're like feel that you're not like satisfied or you want to double check, you just go to playground, you just play with random like pins, you can see if you like them or no. I think most of them like look good because obviously images look good, and if images look good, then your page would also look good. That's not a secret. But what is exceptionally good here is that you just save so much time on creating like these listicles and all of that. So it's just a time saver, and when it also excluded some like UI blocks and all of that, it's also super useful. Once again, we were not able to like exclude this one because that's a big page. We were not able to exclude this one because this one is just like an image which is inserted as any other random image. So we could exclude like this exact pin, but we were not be able to do it for any other pin. So like for like probably here we also have something like this. So probably if you want to avoid, then we want to avoid it on any page, but it's not like possible. So what you can do is when pins are actually like generated, you just replace some images. It will still like be faster, but yeah, it is what it is. It says that we can't obviously restart the generation until the initial generation is done. Let me quickly refresh the page. So yeah, it's still generating. So what we can see here is we finally get some pins generated. It took some time, but once again, you don't have to like wait for the pins to, you don't have to be on the page for them to finish, so you can go do your stuff, and there is a chance that there is like server load or something like this, or there are a lot of people trying to generate pins right now, so there is a chance of delay, but maybe a few minutes or so. But yeah, just feel free to do your thing, and we'll mail you when generation is finished. So we can see that the pins are generated mostly for mostly every day, except for a few, maybe 1st of August, 37th of July missing. So what we can do here is we can first of all show the board under the pin, so we can see that like, okay, maybe make it a bit bigger, so we can see that board is auto selected. So we can see that we had, if you remember, fashion, hairstyle, and nails. We can see that pro makeup ideas, it's fashion, these are nails, couple costume ideas, it's fashion, nails, maybe, yeah, fashion once again, fashion, nails. So not sure if we are having any like hairstyles here. Most of them is mostly fashion and nails, but yeah, you can see the result. And what you can always do here, as before, it kind of goes the same way, is that you can adjust some settings. So for instance, this one, it got beautifully here. This one templated, which was created on the site already, but here we can we probably don't want to use this one inside the listicle. We probably want to replace it with this one, so it's also possible. Now it looks like much better. We can also adjust like the color palette as well. We can maybe change it to another listicle. Well, that's all There are like a lot of things we can do as well here. We can maybe, I don't know, replace some image like this or no. So yeah, it depends. Maybe you just don't want to like have this like listicle here. Maybe this one works better for you. So you can always like adjust and edit some things in the meantime. The generation should be finished like pretty soon, but yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. You can see that like for this website, my settings, they were like minimal. I just like disabled what BlogToPin suggested me to disable. It's not perfect because it still can't handle like this case 100% perfectly, but if you want to put in some extra effort, just wrap it in a div, and BlogToPin would be able to just wrap it in a div with some ID, and BlogToPin would be able to identify it. If no, then like on this scale, it's not like very hard to maybe edit where you probably like don't like it. I don't know, something like this. Okay, it looks already much better. So you can just like adjust the things you don't like. And what you can also do is that it's always it's just much easier to do. We can see that it's like mostly finished. 1st of August, 31st of July, it's also finished. So it's like just like double checking that there are no missing spots here. It would be like just a huge headache here to, first of all, like firstly get like this image, this page, then this page, then this page, and get all the images and wrap them in templates, and this one and this one and this one, and also keep the track of what the pages you pin to, what images you pin to, and all of that. So it's just much easier. BlogToPin allows you to have like a full skeleton available with all the settings, which reduces like amount of noise you have by like 90% or 95%, and then you can just adjust whatever you like, whatever you don't like. You can always like change the board, change the title, change like whatever you want here, and change template, whatever you want to change, it's all possible. And yeah, just like create pins, create beautiful pins, and start growing on Pinterest. I hope it's been useful for you. I tried to make it like as honest as possible. I tried to not highlight and not hide like something which BlogToPin is not capable of. I've shown to you that like, hey, this one, it's probably not capable of doing. If you have like CAPTCHA, it's probably gonna fail. So there are like some cases where BlogToPin might fail. In case you want to like double check if it works, if it works for you or no, you can always double check the free tools. I have a free Pinterest pin maker. It says we didn't find any images, but yeah, you can use this free Pinterest pin maker. It's basically almost identical to the playground we have on the paid version. The difference is that you can't edit much of the details, and it's not automatic, so you have to fill in each like page. But apart from that, yeah, just feel free to use BlogToPin. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you want to use like any extra features, or if you want to have any extra like adjustments. And yeah, see you soon.